crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling.
Let's go down to grassroots America, where the people are hurting. And everybody's saying, why are we in this mess? First thing I'd like you to do, all of you, is look in the mirror. We're the owners of this country. We don't act like the owners. We act like white rabbits that get programmed by messages coming out of Washington. We own this place.
Is there any scenario in which you would run for president? Can you give me a scenario in which you'd say, okay, I'm in?
Well, number one, I don't want to.
I know, but is there a scenario?
Number two, you know, if you're that serious, you, the people, are that serious, you register me in 50 states. And if you're not willing to organize and do that, then this is all just talk. Stay with me, Larry.
Are you
I'm saying to the ordinary folks, if you're dead serious,
start
then
committees in
I want to
Florida,
see some
Georgia.
sweat. I want to see some sweat. Why do I want to see some sweat? I said it earlier. I want you in the ring.
When I hear Perot speak, it's as though I'm saying the words. He's speaking for me. What he says is coming out of his heart. You just know it.
And I was a firm Clinton supporter, and the debates has changed my mind. Watching the debates has turned me completely around. Mr. Perot is the man for this country.
Well, if everybody who thought like me decided to vote for him, I wasn't going to vote for him because I didn't think he could win. But then I thought that's silly.
I think that America needs to change in the system because the system we have now isn't working, and I want my daughter to have a future.
You're going to have to tap your congressman on the shoulder, but in terms of can we break gridlock, how many of you saw the debate? Did any of you count how many times Bush said, I agree with Ross? Did anybody count how many times Clinton said, I agree with Ross?
Tell him, Sammy, she wants the country to grow up in. Can't spend her money anymore. The only person that's going to get rid of the deficit is Ross Perot.
Feel quite confident. For George Bush, perhaps the most crucial 90 minutes of his presidency. For Bill Clinton, the big confrontation he's long demanded. For Ross Perot, a huge audience for his message of change and sacrifice.
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
You know, what we've been through hadn't been pretty, but by golly, you're taking your country back.
Only one candidate understands who owns this country. You own this country. And finally, you say, look squarely at me and say, why is he doing this? Surely all of you know now it's just one reason. I'm doing it because I love the country, I love you, and I am deeply concerned about having all of our children and grandchildren live the American dream that you and I have experienced. When the owners of this great country, the American people, put me on the ballot as their candidate for President of the United States, it was the finest honor I have ever had or could ever have in my life. Since that time, I have seen what all of us can do together when we roll up our sleeves and really get down to work. I've seen what a group of people can get done in a short period of time when we are all united behind a common cause, when we are all working together toward the same goal. Nothing makes me prouder than to have been a part of all of this. It's up to you. You own this country. pick the person that will do the job you want done. God bless you all, and good night.
Ross Perot's headquarters in Dallas. Let's check in with Tony Clark and see what he's got to report. Tony?
Bernie, it may be a little bit hard to hear me. In fact, if you look around, you can see the crowd, the band playing here. It is really, it's a celebration here, although across town at Ross Perot's home, that's where he is. He is having dinner with family, friends, Admiral Stockdale, his vice presidential running mate. We were told just a short time ago that the group over at Mr. Perot's home isn't watching the returns, but rather they are talking about the impact the Texas billionaire has had on this race. They say his legacy may be that he elevated the presidential debate this year, that he showed that someone who is non-affiliated with either of the parties can have an impact. And they also say, as we have been able to look at the polls coming in, the exit polls and the projections for his showing, if he gets in the mid-teens, the 15 to 19% that we're seeing in some states, they say that will be a victory. Already Orson Swindle, the head of his organization, United We Stand America, said, come tomorrow, regardless of what happens in this election, the organization won't go away. They will be a force to be contended with.
After the election, the volunteers in a huge chorus across the country said, we've got to keep together, we've got to keep going, we've got to be a constructive, positive force in American politics, and we must stay together or the ordinary citizen has no voice at all in Washington, D.C. So today we're commencing a large-scale membership drive. The membership drive will be primarily conducted by the volunteers, working in their neighborhoods and communities, going door to door and in meetings to get people to join. In addition, I'll be making a number of television appearances this week, which they've asked me to do to let everybody in the country know that the volunteers are coming. Good people who come together do wonderful things for other people and just work hard and do a good job and not into power and all that stuff.
What is it? Is it a lobbying group for government?
No,
what is United We Stand? It's not a political party.
Its purpose, no, it's not a political party. It has one purpose, and that is to give the American people a voice that will be listened to and heard. We will take these contributions and we will build the electronic town hall, and it will be reality. And we will be able to display to Congress by congressional districts what their people want.
You mean you're going to buy television time to have a town hall?
Absolutely, and we'll have a way for the people to respond, and we'll be able to display it by congressional district. And if any congressman wants to audit that display by district, he's welcome to do it, and to show that the figures are accurate, and then he will know what his people want.
If they pass that Mexican trade agreement, and you bring them home in '94, I'm telling them already in advance, we will buy them a ticket to Mexico so they can go look for a job.
Perot also kept the heat up on another favorite topic, the Clinton budget plan, and turned the burner on high under a local congresswoman who helped it pass.
I understand you're mad at Congressman Mavinsky. When you go see her, take her this book, Not for Sale at Any Price, right?
Here's where we get out of it. If the House of Representatives lets this go through, the whole House of Representatives is running in 1994 and a third of the Senate, we got a little song we sang. We'll remember in November when we step into that little booth. If we have to, we the people, the owners of this country, we'll clean this mess up in Washington in '94.
Are you saying you will?
And we'll make sure that we put the 6-month tail on this thing in 1995 And if you think these guys will, you believe in the tooth fairy.
Well, Ross, are you saying that you're going to work against congressmen who vote for it?
I'm not. Our people are really angry about this. Working people all across the United States are extremely angry. There's no way to stop them. They are not going to tolerate having their jobs continue to be shipped all over the world.
Fired. On this vote, the yeas are 234, the nays are 200, and the bill is passed. Hey!
Good evening, Mr. Perot. Thanks for being with us.
Dan, how are you?
On the basis of what you see so far, which is, number one, the Republicans may gain control of the Senate, although the Democrats still have a chance to make it a 50-50 Senate, which would give them control since Vice President Al Gore would cast the deciding vote. What do you see out there that interests you the most and you think is the most important?
This is a historic night. This is the night that we will stop the rush to big government. We are going to give the Republican Party a chance. I think it's fundamentally important. As you know, only 9% of the people feel the House of Representatives does a good job. 14% feel that the Senate and House do a good job. It's time for a change. It's going to happen tonight. It's exciting. I think it's in the country's best interest.
Well, Ross Perot, Republicans in 92, Democrats in 94. Is it time for a real third party to emerge?
I'm on the record on that. I said, let's give the Republicans a chance. If they deliver, that will reform the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. If they don't, then we'll have to form a third party. That's just a tap on the shoulder. I call it shock therapy.
Are you going to run in 1996?
I hope I don't have to. I hope the Democrats and Republicans are reformed. They're doing the job. They're serving the people. They've got Abraham Lincoln and George Washington on the ticket. I'm going to sit home and grin.
It was a United We Stand America volunteer in Atlanta who sat down with Newt Gingrich and his staff and showed them the poll published in our book, Not for Sale at Any Price. Much of that was then put into the language of the contract with America.
They didn't create the idea of a contract with America. It was a United We Stand America member from Georgia, Fred Everett, who went to Newt and said, for the election, you should have everybody sign a pledge of what they will do if they're elected.
Campaign finance reform and lobbying reform, also strongly supported by the American people, were conspicuously absent from the contract. Ross Perot suggested to the American people that we give the Republicans a try at controlling Congress.
Some great Democrats there, and you don't want to wipe them out, but by and large, give the Republicans a majority in the House and Senate and say, all right now, we're going to let you guys have a turn at bat.
The rest is history. Independent voters provided the margin of victory and enabled the Republicans to sweep the November elections. What is now referred to by the media as the United We Stand America vote, or the Perot vote, was gaining recognition as a viable political force. Whether we get public credit or not, people know United We Stand America is the major force impacting on the American political agenda. And United We Stand America is the only counterforce out there, big enough and prepared enough to force reform as we go into the 1996 elections. United We Stand America has sponsored discussions of a new political party and other options in public forums all across the country. Recent polls show that 57% of the electorate desire a new major political party. Forming a new party is just one option. The two major parties have a virtual monopoly on ballot access, which is different in every state. We may choose to keep our options open, such as reforming one of the two existing parties from within, or throwing our support to the candidates who believe in our issues. As we look towards 1996, we must begin to prepare our country for the 21st century.
humbled that you have chosen me as your candidate to be president. You have my solemn promise that I will only act in the best interests of our country. This is your country. I will be your servant. I will only belong to you, the people. And I am absolutely committed, irrevocably committed, to passing on a better world to our children and grandchildren.